man's heart is full of hate. He butthurts, cries, and a dark shadow falls over this troll. From the ashes of a once great fandom has risen a meme, an LOL that must be liked. We look to the airwaves for a vindicator, someone to strike fear in the dark basement of the parents who created him. The battle between fan and smark has begun. With a head on his shoulders stands the smart fan, a speaker of truths, with a voice of silence and a radio show of justice. This is Ring Rust.
Payback from this past Sunday on the WWE Network, live from the Allstate Arena in Rosemount, Illinois, as it were. So, let's get to the review. There's two pre-show matches. Interesting that they had two, but anyway. So they had Dolph Ziggler beating Baron Corbin. Actually, I predicted that Baron Corbin would come out on top of that one, so I'm pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't have really been disappointed, I guess, if Baron Corbin had won, but, you know, it's just how I saw it going, and I'm still a big fan of Dolph Ziggler, so my joy for that is perfection. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Brody. You are listening to Ring Rust on 3.5 Zedmar FM. So, next match, the second pre-show match. Should I be doing these two at a time? I think I might want to do these two at a time. Actually, from here on in. I think I'm going to do them two at a time, because I got another show to preview after this. I don't want to be caught flat-footed, sort of like I was last week. But I'll just do this match, and then it's two at a time after this. So, Kalisto defended his United States Championship against Ryback, and I actually call that the other way as well. But it looks like my predictions are all uphill from here. So I just didn't call the pre-show correctly, I guess. Again, not really disappointed. I guess, are they going to keep feuding, I guess, for the title? I suppose. Ryback will keep feuding until he wins the title, and then they might end the feud, I guess. Radio Shrug?
This is a great chance to toy Wrestling News Radio on Ring Rust, CHMR 93.5 FM.
A tag team match to determine number one contendership for the WWE Tag Team Championships ended a no contest. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, otherwise known as Can't Teach That, as I call them anyway, versus the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch, went to that no contest when Simon Gotch whipped Enzo Amore out of the ring, and he sort of bounced between the bottom rope and the mat, and it hung out under his arm and snapped his head back, and he checked out okay. And they actually had Kevin Owens and Big Cass were there at the hospital with him, and they took a selfie with him saying, "But I want to get out," or whatever he was saying. I don't know. He's just arguing in his hospital smock, and Kevin Owens had this big old smile on his face. So obviously he's okay, because, well, he's a tough guy. As somebody on the PW224/7 Facebook page called him, he's quite the tough vanilla midget who's prone to injury. Well, they didn't say the tough part. He just said he's a vanilla midget who's prone to injury. And I asked, how is he prone to injury when this is the first time I've heard of him being injured? No response. So I trolled the troll, I guess. Unfortunately, that troll is an admin on that page. So, anyway. And next up, Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn. The aforementioned Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn in a singles match. Just all over the place. 15 minutes worth of punching and power bombing, and I'm going to hurt you, and no, I'm going to hurt you, and, well, we'll see if their feud's over now, or it's sort of a come and go feud. We'll see if they revisit it, and actually wouldn't mind seeing more of it. But But that's, maybe that's just me. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Breeze. This is Fat Boy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Oh, 93.5 CHMR. So, the next two matches from Payback from this past Sunday on the WWE Network. The Miz defended his Intercontinental Championship against Antonio Cesaro. I predicted that. It would be nice if they... I assume they're going to continue with the actual feud, I would assume, because they seem to be putting off some pretty good matches. I'd like to eventually see Cesaro win the Intercontinental title. So, and then Dean Ambrose defeated Chris Jericho in a almost 20-minute match. How many potential matches of the night were there for actual performance? 3, I guess. Okay, and that was the second one. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was the first one. So, and you know which 2 matches are left, so it's one of those, I think, was the third one. So...
Mine's bigger than yours, ha-ha. Oh, that's gotta sting. Excellent.
Neither of them had blue skin, or could teleport, or could change their form to something else, or... Anyway, so this is Fabio Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Oh, 93.5 CHMR FM. So the last 2 matches for Payback from Richmond, Illinois, from the WWE Network this past Sunday. Charlotte defended her Women's Championship against Natalya via ref stoppage when Little H, Charles Robinson, pulled a Chicago screw job and called for the bell, and yeah. It's been done, of course, a number of times. I heard people complain it's been done far too many times, but I can really only think of it being done really 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's as an angle, not just that specifically, but as an angle, it's been used a bit, so, you know. It is overused, I guess, a bit. They keep going back to the well because people keep wanting to see it, I guess. And the final match, the main event, Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles, as I assumed he would, in a no disqualification match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And was it announced as a no disqualification? I think that was added, wasn't it? Yes, I think McMahon's kept coming out and adding the stipulations. So, like a no disqualification, no count out, and Roman Reigns came out on top, as I predicted he would. Because, as I said, AJ Styles is challenging for the world title for the first time, and you can count on one hand, I think, in the entire history of wrestling, not just WWE, not just televised wrestling, wrestling period. The first time someone challenged for a belt that they won it. It's just, you know, you want to call it Wrestling 101? That's fine. You know, you create a feud around the belt. You have the challenger beat the champion, ideally in a tag team match or at least a non-title match, and then that shows the crowd, oh my God, he can beat him for the championship. He just pinned him, so there's precedent for him to be beaten. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see if a feud develops. I hope it does, because I want to see more of AJ Styles, certainly. God. This guy again. If I can have your attention, please. I just received an email from the ridiculous Ring Rust general manager. Why don't you read the story about that new Divas DVD that's coming out? Okay, that's good enough suggestion. Wrestling DVD Network has listed a range of WWE DVD ideas for the 2017 release. Alongside the likes of A New Day, CM Punk, and Bruno Sammartino, 2 female-centric superstar DVDs could be in the works. That's according to a, quote, fan council, unquote, survey issued by WWE. One of these potential releases is a DVD based on the WWE's very own chief brand officer, Stephanie McMahon. This DVD will most likely be taking a look at the billion-dollar princess's successful growth throughout the company, chronicling landmark moments in her career. The other DVD is based on the recent women's revolution, in which the WWE will take a look at the women's division from the days of the fabulous Moolah to Sunny, to Trish, to Michelle McCool, and now the future in Charlotte. complete with interviews with important figures and discussion of how they changed the role of women in wrestling.
Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. Now, time for this week's Macho Fact. Monkey see, monkey do. Randy Savage see, Randy Savage elbow drop. And the Macho Man once played Deal or No Deal, and the banker offered him $1 million every time.
This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust 93.5 CHMR FM. So now I'm going to roll right into the Ring of Honor Global Wars pay-per-view, which is coming up on the 8th, which is Sunday. Okay, actually a pay-per-view on Sunday for Ring of Honor. What do you know? So, and not an pay-per-view either. Interesting. They're actually into the actual pay-per-view now, so which is good. From the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. What is with Illinois? Why people always having their pay-per-views in Illinois? Anyway, not always, I guess, but recently. So there's 9 matches, so I'll do them 3 at a time, because I'd like to get this done, hopefully, before the 3-way dance-off, and then just do a bit of news at the end, just to fill some time, and, well, flesh out the show a bit. In the pre-show match, Kelly Klein will be taking on Crazy Mary Dobson, I guess in a Women of Honor match. And I guess I'll call Kelly Klein to win that because Mary Dobson's got crazy in her name, which means she's probably not going to win. Sound reasoning. So next up, The Addiction in a tag team match. Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian will be taking on Iken Hez Cheeseburger and Jushin Thunder Liger. Because, you know, I like making up tag team names. And because of that, Ken Hez Cheeseburger is probably going to win that one. Or at least that's what I'm predicting. So, next up is an 8-man tag, Bullet Club, which is the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Tonga Tonga, because it's Tama Tonga and Tanga versus Flippy Doos, Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, and Matt Wrestling, M-A-T-T, you'll see in a minute, Kushida and Matt Sydal. Matt Wrestling. Matt Sydal, wrestling. So, funny. So I predict the Flippy Doos will come out on top of that one, because Flippy Doos, I don't know.
I'll make you fun size. Coming through. Sorry. Oh, that stings. I beg your pardon.
So, the next block of 3 matches for Ring of Honor's Global Wars on pay-per-view this coming Sunday. And again, as you know, I like naming tag teams. So, Punches to the Face, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Michael Elgin versus Leith, Look up Japanese squirrel. You'll know what I'm... Moose and squirrel. Because Kazuchika Okada, I hope that's how you pronounce it, and Moose. So Moose and Squirrel. So I'm basically calling Okada-san a squirrel, I guess. Anyway, and I think Punches to the Face are going to come out on top of that one because it's Punches to the Face. Oh my God, he's punching him in the face. I bet they're going to win. They look like they want it. And Toshihiro Ishii versus Bobby Fish. I predict that Toshihiro Ishii will win because the other guy is Bobby Fish. And Tetsuya Naito taking on Kyle O'Reilly. And, who do I think will win that one? Oh, really? O'Reilly.
Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni.
So, should be easy enough for you to find. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Oh, not a 3.5, CHMR FM. So, we only got 3 matches left to go. Tag team titles match. War Machine, which is Henson and Ray Rowe, taking on the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe. I'm predicting War Machine's going to come out on top of that one because, I don't know, maybe they're due. I'm feeling good about that. And they got a world title match, Jay Lethal defending against Colt Cabana. I see Jay Lethal defending against that because, I don't know, has Colt Cabana ever been the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion? I have to look that up. And then there's a fatal 4-way number 1 contendership for the world title. ACH versus Adam Page versus Dalton Castle versus Roderick Strong. So I'm going to predict Dalton Castle is going to come on top of that one because look at him.
That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.